5 and 6 as we get set for Class 2A and the 106-pounders. And Bob set us up for the 106ers.
Well, in 106, first of all, you're going to have Josh Keller versus Tristan Birt. That'll be your Mat 3 match underway over there. Keller from Columbus Junction and Tristan Birt from Dubuque-Wahlert, both sophomores. And on mat number 4, we have Brayden Curry and Connor Cleveland. Connor Cleveland, the #1 ranked wrestler at 106, a sophomore from New Hampton. And Curry, the freshman, the only freshman in the 106 is left. The other 3 are sophomores. Brayden Curry, a freshman from Sergeant Bluff, Luton. And then the big match over here on number 5 is Brock Rathbun, the #1 ranked wrestler at 113. He's taking on Brady Kyner, a freshman from Carlisle, #7th ranked, Rathbun #1. And then team race going on down here in mat 6. Fenske of Assumption, ranked 6, taking on Ryan Leisure of Clear Lake, #4 ranked.
Mark, looking at the scoreboard right now, we got points on the board on 4 and 5 on the mats.
Yeah, mat number 4 right down here in front of us. It's Cleveland down there. Connor Cleveland of New Hampton. He came out, got a takedown right away, and he allows Sergeant Bluff's Curry to get an escape, and then takes him back down right away to the mat as well too. So he's up. He's got a 4-1 lead over there.
As we mentioned, 3 of these 6-pounders sophomores and 1 freshman. No returning place winners here, but only 1 loss on the season for #1 Connor Cleveland.
You see a lot of, in 106 pounds especially, you see a lot of freshmen, sophomores in the lineups at 106 because their bodies obviously being younger, a little bit smaller. You don't see very many juniors and seniors in the weight classes at 106 pounds.
Not often, and it does give us a chance to get an early look at some of those guys like we'll see later. We talked about Happel and Washburn. They start out at lower weights, especially Washburn was a 106 champion and a 113 champion.
And you look at the mat number 5 with the 113 class, 4-0 lead right now with Leisure and Fenske on that mat.
Also, mat number 5 over there with Brock Rathbun. He got here with a sudden victory win over Patrick Woods, who was a defending state champ from West Delaware. Now, last year he lost to Woods in the 106 final. This year they met, and that was Woods' only loss, his first loss of the season. They flip-flop in the standings, and Rathbun was #1, and he also followed up with another victory. So he proved that it wasn't a fluke. It took sudden victory, but he got him here to the semis. He's up 7-0.
Right down here at mat number 4 in front of us, it's still Cleveland of New Hampton over Curry of Sergeant Bluff. At the end of the first period there, score of 4-2. So what they do is they flip the coin, and it's going to be the choice of the red, which is Cleveland, his choice. He's going to choose down to start the second period. Curry of Sergeant Bluff, he's going to start on top. Some crazy wrestling going over there on mat number 5. A lot of rolling around. That center point advantage is Rathbun. Take on Kyner of Carlisle.
Yeah,
and he's got him to his back right now. He's getting near fall points. He did get a 5 count, so he's going to get 3 points there for his near fall. That makes the score 7-0, 10-0 right now in favor of Rathbun. And he puts him to his back again. New hold, so he's getting new points.
The undefeated Rathbun, runner-up last year, looking to go a little bit further, get a little higher on the stand this year. He's taking care of Kyner. Kyner really came on strong late in the season. Very impressive freshman for Carlisle. But he's having a little bit more than he can handle here with Rathbun. A lot of blanking here. It was 13-0 with Rathbun. Also, Keller, he quickly out in front 6-0 on mat 3 there over Tristan Birt. And still no score on mat 6 between Leisure and Fenske. Fenske, of course, a Davenport Assumption. The team leader right now. They're just a half a point ahead of Mediapolis as we start this round, 51-50.5. It looks like the action out of these 4 matches so far will be on mat 4 between Cleveland.
Rathbun did win that one down there too for center point Urbana by match termination. Once they get ahead by 15 points, then the referee has stopped the match, and he won that one actually 15-0, and that's a dominance for the top position there from Rathbun of center point Urbana.
So we have our first finalist. Tomorrow night you'll get to see Brock Rathbun up there, try to move up from second to first.
He's going to be taking on the winner, but down here, still all tied up down here on mat number 6. Between Leisure of Clear Lake and Fenske of the Davenport Assumption. That one is in the second period with a minute to go. Leisure of Clear Lake putting a big ride on it. Now, if Leisure of Clear Lake can ride out Fenske this whole entire period, that's going to give him a big advantage going into the third period. So if he chooses down, gets a 1-point escape, that might be all it takes to win the match.
Yeah, and this defensive struggle, 0-0s, that's what he's got to be looking for. He's got to be able to keep him down. Don't look for him to cut him here.
Start of the third period down here, mat number 4. Between Cleveland of New Hampton and Curry of Sergeant Bluff. Sergeant Bluff, Curry's choice. He chooses down. Scores 5-3. He's up to his feet, trying to get hand control. Cleveland does a good job. Drops back down in the double and picks him up and puts him down. Continuing to ride him tough there with the 5-3 lead in the third period. This is a big round. This is the round, the semifinal round. A lot of times is even more so exciting than the final sometimes, just because the guys know that this is their opportunity. They haven't gotten there yet. They haven't made it to the Saturday night dances, as some like to call it. So they work hard in this match to try and make sure that they get to the finals. And then what happens is you get to the finals and you don't want to make a mistake because you got here and you want to make sure you do a good job and squeak, get a victory or whatever. But a lot of times the fur flies a lot more in the semis than it does the finals even.
I'm glad you brought that up because I've always felt that way, that my favorite round is always the semifinals, because it just seems like the guys are letting it all hang out because they've got to get to that finals. And then when you get there, like you mentioned, boy, I can't lose this. So they tend to get a little defensive. Not all the time, but boy, it happens a lot more than often. Cleveland's still holding on. This is the tight match so far that we've got started here at 106. Cleveland's ahead 5-4 from New Hampton over Curry. Fenske and Leisure still knotted at 0.
Coming up next will be the 120s and the 126s on the mat.
The 120 just took the mat over there on mat number 5. That's Gold of Davenport Assumption. He's taking on Cox of Atlantic. Dylan Cox of Atlantic. Dylan Cox was 48-5, a senior coming in. Gold of Davenport Assumption was 36-5 as a senior coming in. Two seniors going at it over there in the first period, with Gold up 2-0.
And there's a win for Keller also at 106. Our first match on mat 3. Keller gets the victory, so he's moving on to the finals. Gould from Assumption, as you mentioned, last year at 3rd place at 113. He was a 7th place finisher as a freshman, or as a sophomore. He's a senior.
He's struggling right now. 5-4 is the score. Just 15 seconds with still a lot of time to try and get a takedown. But Cleveland takes a shot on him. A lot of times that's a good thing to do, is when you're in the lead, actually stay on that offense. But now Sergeant Bluff's Curry goes for a headlock and actually got it, but Cleveland rolls him through. Scramble situation here. No points awarded. I think that was a good call by the referee right there. There was never any control there. So it will be Cleveland of New Hampton right there pulling that out at the end, winning 5-4 over Curry of Sergeant Bluff. Boy, that's what makes wrestling fun right there.
Yeah.
It's not over until the last second ticks off the clock.
Exactly, and he knew that too. And of course, everybody, Curry thought that he had something there, but I think they made the right call. So a big win for Cleveland. Sophomores going to the finals. Now we have Blake Luna up on mat 3. And he's taking on Johnny Etherington of Charles City. That's a number 5 versus number 3 matchup. Etherington number 3, Luna number 5 at 120.
Mat number 6 with 15 seconds to go. Not a lot of time left in that one.
Yeah, Leisure finally has a lead in that one, though. He's up 2-1 over Fenske. And that looks like it's going to hold up as time winds out there. So a tough hit for Davenport Assumption there.
So Leisure of Clear Lake right there is going to be taken on Rathbun of Center Point Urbana. 2 black and gold schools going to be going at in the finals. Leisure from Clear Lake.
And the Storm and Pointer. Rathbun of Center Point Urbana.
Freshman versus sophomore. Starting to go through these things, trying to write them down, talk, and follow the wrestling all at once. It's not an easy job, Alan.
No, it's not. And there's 4 mats to follow all the way through here, too. And a lot of weight classes coming through to make it happen as well.
Yeah, so we have Gold, Brennan Gold and Cox on mat 5. And Luna